Hello, hello. Welcome to A Novel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that catches our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me, as always, is my beautiful co-host and fiance, Karradyne.
Hello.
And for this week, we have a great, fun show. We have a vampire somewhere in there. We have a ProSkater and some SouthWestern Eggrolls. So those are kind of some hints for the episode this week. So let's go ahead and get started with what's happened this week. We went to my aunt's house a few days ago.
We did, for a family barbecue.
It was more of a grilling occasion. So we went grilling, and weird thing that happened is usually when we go to my aunt's house and there's some grilling event, I'm the grill master.
Usually. No, you are always the grill master. Always.
Yeah, I think the only time I'm not the grill master is when my dad's here, and even then, I think they pull him off to do some crap, and I'm stuck at the grill always.
Yes, he's the handyman, so.
Yeah. So we ended up grilling for some vegans.
I'm sorry, no disrespect to any of you vegans. It's just weird to us that you would grill for a vegan. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird because they really don't eat any type of meat. So I had to...
Well, obviously they're vegan.
No shit. So I had to clean off the grill perfectly well. I used even a brand new brush so that I didn't leave anything on the grill.
I was proud of him for being very considerate.
And I scraped the whole thing, scraped it all off. It looked like brand new. And I partitioned the whole thing. We started cooking off some jalapeno poppers.
Wrapped in bacon.
Yes, which I had to put aluminum foil over the grate so that it wouldn't touch or anything. And then I had to throw the vegan patties, as far away from them as possible.
They look so weird. They look like sausage, the breakfast sausage from McDonald's, but nastier, if that's possible.
And I basically just threw a little bit of salt at them, let them burn up a little bit, could catch a little nice char of the lines on the grill and whatnot. And they seem to love them. I mean, they said that they're delicious. They're bean-based patties. I know they have a little bit of corn and peppers and all that stuff in there, so maybe they're not that bad.
Well, I mean, if it's what you're used to, then...
Yeah, and shit, I don't know how many I made. I made like 8 or 9 of them.
You made a lot.
And almost all of them were gone.
I mean, they were thin. They were very small.
Yeah, so you would have to
not that they weren't delicious, but they were very small.
So I'm guessing you have to put like 2 per burger.
I know I would.
Yeah. And yeah, that was interesting. But then our food, we had burgers and jalapeno poppers. We got these at Publix, because Publix apparently has a section where they pre-make stuff.
Yeah, it's like Publix aprons. It's like their competition with the, I don't know how you call those things, the meal kit services type stuff.
That's different because Publix already has them seasoned. Basically, all you have
True.
to do is just throw them
Pop it in the oven or on the skillet or...
And the other one, you have to mix the whole ingredients and all that
Follow the recipe.
Yeah, but the burgers were amazing. We had some blue cheese burgers.
They were so good.
They were stuffed with blue cheese. And some pimento cheddar,
I think.
And we also had some chicken feta and red bell pepper.
Surprisingly delicious. I was kind of weirded out by the concept of a chicken burger.
Yeah, so we didn't eat the chicken burgers that day. I just got them because my aunt's kind of picky, and some other people are picky. My sister's kind of picky. And they were surprisingly amazing. Like, I did this one thing where I took one of the burners and I put it on as high as it would go. And I threw my patty on it, and I just tried to see if it would dry out. It didn't. It was stuffed with so much cheese that it just kept sweating, and it was amazing.
It was very tasty.
Yeah, it was delicious. The jalapeno poppers, the only problem I had with those was that they just take a jalapeno, they slice it in half, stuff it, wrap it in bacon. That's it. They don't put the top part back on.
Well, how would you? I guess you would put and then wrap the bacon around the 2 halves.
You can do that, or you can also just cut the top off, or scoop it all out, stuff it, wrap it.
Yeah, because I noticed the stems were still there, and I didn't realize it on the first one, and I totally bit into that stem. I was like, whoa. Nope.
But yeah, apart from that part, they were delicious. The bacon was great. The cheese stuffing was amazing. And they weren't pickled jalapenos. They were fresh jalapenos.
They were delicious.
I'm guessing they were the ones from their own produce that they would take out. They were really good, even with all the char and everything.
I want more.
They were still pretty delicious. Other than that, we had a good night. My cousin eventually got there, and we were kind of surprised by her. We've hung out with her before, but
didn't really realize how similar she and Chris are. They're the two oldest of the cousins on his dad's side of the family, at least. And this aunt is also from dad's side. All of this was dad's side of the family. But yeah, there was definitely some screamo moshing in the kitchen going on. It was really weird.
Yeah, she put on some of those crazy ass bands that she listens to. While I listen to Avenged Sevenfold, Five Finger Death Punch, and Death Clock, she listens to Ice Nine Kills and
A Day to Remember.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was really headbangy post-hardcore metal shit, but it was funny because she's like this
total Disney princess.
Yeah, she's like this. What is she, like 5'3", 5'4"?
Yeah, she's shorter than me.
Super
skinny, very, very feminine.
And she sounds like
Minnie Mouse.
Almost. She sounds like Minnie Mouse and Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph together. And just hearing her in the kitchen just go like, "Suck my dick." It's like, what the fuck?
It's more like, "Suck my dick." But she was having a blast. Yeah, we all had a blast.
Yeah, we had a blast. Even my aunt, she was drunk off her ass, and which we decided to mess with her, me and my cousin.
She had like 50 of these vodka boba things that she was just eating like candy.
She would make. Oh, was it?
It was
what
like
was that wine thing that she.
It was
drinking?
It was prosecco. And she would put these vodka, I don't know how to describe it other than vodka boba.
Boba balls, yeah. It's like caviar.
She's like, "Give me my balls! Give me more balls!" She was messed up.
and we would put it in her drink, and she kept drinking and drinking. And at one point, my cousin starts talking about drugs for some reason. And I jokingly said something about, because I had to work the next day. And I said, well, I'm going to be super tired tomorrow because it's almost 1. So I'm going to have to do some cocaine before I go into work.
Jokingly. And
my aunt's like, "You better not do that." And she's like all drunk and shit and eyes twirling everywhere. And I said, "Why not?" And she's like, "Because we don't do cocaine." I was like, "Well, I put it in your burger." And my cousin's like, "Yeah, he put it in your burger."
They totally both went along with it, and she believed them.
Oh, she was so pissed. She's like, "You better not have put cocaine in my burger, otherwise I'm going to kick both your asses." I was like, "But she wasn't even here when I was cooking. I'm the one that put the cocaine in your burger." It's like, if there's cocaine, I'm going to chase you down. I'm going to kick your asses. And my cousin says, "Well, first you're going to have to catch us because we're on so much cocaine that you're not going to be able to catch us." Oh, and she was very
distraught,
very mad. And apart from that, it was a fun night. We had music playing. We kept fighting over the Google Home just to get the music going, which hopefully ours doesn't act up.
Don't speak to it.
Yeah, just let's not say the...
Don't say the G word.
No, because it'll be like, "I'm sorry, I can't help you with that." But yeah, we were having problems with it, and it kind of reminded me of this one time where I think the iPhone 3, that's the one that had Siri
for the first time.
Yeah, when it came out, my sister had gotten one. She must have been like, I don't know, 12 or 13.
Which means you were like 19.
Yeah, I was almost done with college, and she was being really annoying with it. She asked Siri to call her princess. So every time she's like, "Siri, what's this?" And Siri would say, "It's this, princess." Or, "Siri, what's the weather for tomorrow? It's gonna be rainy." Princess? I was like, Jesus Christ. I say, "Hey, Crystal, let me see your phone." He's like, why? I was like, because I want to see Siri. Show me how Siri works. And she's showing me Siri, and she says, okay, Siri, have a... And I said, okay, princess. And I said, how'd you get her to call you princess? Like, oh, because you can just tell her, hey, Siri. He's like, what? Call me Crystal. Okay, Crystal. I will call you Crystal from now on. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. I was like, let me try. Okay, Siri. Call me Cockmaster.
I'm surprised your mother did not kill you.
And she's like, okay, Cockmaster. Chris was like, no, don't call me that, Siri. Siri, please don't call me Cockmaster. And she says, okay, Cockmaster. My mom fights her. She was so pissed. Everybody, Crystal was almost crying because Siri kept calling her Cockmaster.
It's time like these where I'm grateful that I'm the oldest and don't have an older brother to do stuff like this to me. Oh, man.
My dad eventually found out, and he didn't really say anything. And I know why he didn't say anything. Is because he's exactly like my grandfather, and every time he finds something really funny, he's not going to say anything about it at all. So he just kept quiet about the whole thing while Siri's calling my sister Cockmaster.
Cockmaster. Oh my god. You're terrible.
So yeah, and we also saw Tenet this past Sunday.
Unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
I did not want to go to this damn movie, but he was determined. So determined that he let me buy the tickets and mistakenly purchase some extra dimensional shit that was way too loud. And
yeah, it's the Cinemark.
It's not IMAX. It's
XD
like
whatever experience.
Yeah, it's like high def and super loud.
No,
super loud.
That theater would have been perfect to watch Metallica in when we saw S&M.
That would have been nice.
That would have been amazing because the music sounded awesome. We couldn't hear shit that they were talking about.
Yeah, no, I couldn't understand. I needed subtitles.
Yeah, and it unfortunately didn't have subtitles. But basically, Karradyne checked out at 30 minutes.
Yeah, I read Blood and Honey and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue on my phone for the last 2 hours of the movie.
But yeah, it was an awesome. I think it was an awesome movie, even though I had to pick up most of what was going on through context clues because
you couldn't understand it over the loud ass background music.
There was music playing throughout almost the entire movie.
The entire movie.
But it was a really good movie. The set pieces were crazy. The story was kind of bananas, which almost makes me wish that there was a series about this movie made afterwards. And it was just basically typical Christopher Nolan shit. It was
violent. I checked out.
It wasn't violent. I mean, the first scene, they shoot the opera conductor, and there's no blood. All you see is just powder.
You had some very intense reactions during that one scene with the meat thing.
The cheese grater?
Yeah. Oh God, no! I'm telling y'all, I was curled up in my seat with my face turned as far away from the screen as I could get it, also with my hand operating as a shield, so I couldn't possibly catch anything. But I could hear it.
The cheese grater.
Don't tell me.
So here's the thing: he grabs the cheese grater. The guy throws a punch, and he just puts it in front of it. So he punches the cheese grater.
Oh!
Right. And then he smacks him in the throat with it and just puts it against his head and runs his head across the table with it.
No!
But the thing is, I was looking at the cheese grater the entire time to see if anything would come out of it. Nothing.
Well, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Nothing came out. The way that he ran his head with the cheese grater on it, nothing.
Mm-mm.
But it was a real crazy movie. If you just set pieces and fuck that guy in the motorcycle that just went by. If you just crazy ass set pieces and you like Nolan bullshit and Nolan's stories, go watch it. It's worth it. It was $10 a piece when we went to see it. We saw an early bird, and it was pretty worth it.
It would be cheaper without the XD shit. And Denzel Washington's son is pretty pretty talented from what I saw in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, he was great. He was Black James Bond, all swag, all badass.
Very suave.
That dude fucking rocked. And another person that rocked in that movie was
Robert Pattinson. As much as we cringe a little bit saying it, he has matured a lot since
Twilight.
Dare we speak of it?
But he Pattinson has had a couple of really good movie roles.
He has.
I haven't seen the movie roles, but
he was Cedric Diggory. He was pretty good.
Dying. But apparently he was in The Lighthouse. Apparently that was a really crazy good movie. And
I don't think I've heard of that one.
All black and white. I think Willem Dafoe is in it. I don't know if you've seen that meme of Robert Pattinson killing a seagull while some song plays in the background. It's all black and white. Anyway, that's where that movie's from. Apparently that was really good. And I was kind of surprised when I saw him. I thought he was going to be a minor role, but he had a pretty big role in the movie.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I thought he was minor.
And he was pretty crazy good in that movie. Like I was extremely surprised. He was almost as good as Denzel's son, which I don't know his name.
That's so terrible that we're calling him Denzel's son.
Yeah,
bless his heart.
Washington Jr. It was all great. It was such a good movie.
Glad someone enjoyed it.
Apart from that, this week they announced the Mario 3D All-Stars collection.
He lost his shit.
I've been losing my shit over that thing.
He was ready to cry.
I still want to cry over it. I love Mario 64. I used to play it on the Nintendo 64. Mario Sunshine, I've never played it, and Mario Galaxy, I've never played it. Now, I did buy Mario Galaxy not too long ago for the Nintendo GameCube. I paid $58.25 for the game. And for $60, I get Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, and Mario 64 all in one package. And when I pre-ordered it today, and I am so happy. I cannot wait for this thing to come out because I'm going to play the shit out of it.
The funny thing is, he texted me to tell me about this while I was at work, and he's like, all caps, I'm so excited, Mario 3D, whatever is coming out. I'm like, oh, yay, I'm excited for you. What's 3D about it?
It's the Mario 64 Sunshine and Galaxy 3D collection.
And I'm still like, what's 3D?
He's like, what's so 3D about it?
I'm literally picturing him in front of our TV with little paper 3D goggles playing this game. Like, how's that gonna work with our regular screen?
It's like, no, it's 3D because it's the first 3 Mario games that were in 3D. It's not that it's Mario's gonna be coming out of the screen or something.
He eventually had to explain to me that it's open world instead of, how do you call it? Side-scrolling.
Yeah.
Then I understood.
Yeah, that was... I'm still so happy. That and the Pikmin 3 Deluxe announcement for the Switch. That's the type of shit Nintendo does that makes me happy. You know?
I'm glad.
Anything else you want to bring up?
Not that I can think of.
All right, so it looks like we're ready to start with our first segment. And as always, that goes off to Karradyne. And this is Book Talk.
This week's books are The Beautiful and the Damned by Renee Audier. I thoroughly apologize if I am mispronouncing your name.
You mentioned her last week, right?
Yes, I think. Yes, I did. I don't remember why, but I did. I know I mentioned her name. So both of these books were published by G.P. Putnam's Sons Books for Young Readers. There are supposedly going to be 4 books in the series. The Beautiful was published last year on October 8th, 2019, and The Damned was very recently published on July 7th of this year. Now, I read these books as part of my Books to Besties Vampirathon, reading in Fairyland. Oh, what was that?
Nothing. Just keep going.
There's nothing wrong with vampires if they're done correctly.
Okay, just keep going. So if there's nothing wrong with them, can you tell me about more books in that genre?
Books that are similar to these?
Yeah.
Twilight.
So that's what's wrong with them.
No, that's not. No, what wrong with vampires? Not wrong with these books. So
okay. Before we continue, you know Dracula.
Obviously.
Well, you know Edward Cullen.
Yes.
Who would win in a fight?
Are we thinking of Bram Stoker's Dracula, or are we thinking of like blah 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 Adam Sandler's Dracula?
Let's go Adam Sandler Dracula. Let's go Adam Sandler.
Oh
Dracula.
God, Adam Sandler Dracula versus Edward Cullen.
Yes.
Adam Sandler versus Robert Pattinson.
No.
No.
Edward Cullen. Robert Pattinson's Edward Cullen. The sparkly one.
Oh God, I honestly still think blah 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 would win. He seems just a little more evil when he is evil. He's very rarely evil, but yeah, I think it could take him.
Now, okay, so what about Pattinson versus Dracula? Because you know all vampires eventually turn into bats.
Oh my God.
That one was good.
Are we still thinking about Adam Sandler's Dracula?
Let's do both.
Okay. I think Bram Stoker's Dracula would beat Pattinson.
Really?
Yes.
What about Pattinson and...
I think Pattinson would beat blah, blah, blah.
But why do you think Bram Stoker's could be...
Okay, so I'm going to be really honest. Dracula was required reading in college, and I may or may not have DNF'd it. But what I did gather was that Dracula was much darker and drearier than I had initially envisioned, I guess. I don't know. I know that sounds silly. Vampires are dark and dreary, but...
They're also kinky. They're like getting hit by whips in Castlevania.
What?
Yeah, so Castlevania, you play as the Belmont clan in a lot of the games, especially the original Nintendo 2 Genesis, I want to say. And you have a whip called the Vampire Killer, and that's the way that you kill most of the enemies.
I just envision the Balrog with its like whip of fire.
In some games, you can turn it into a whip of fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but starting off, you just have a regular whip. So you see a skeleton walking towards you, and you smack a skeleton with a whip.
What the hell? Why would you want to whip a skeleton?
Because it's going to hit you with one of its femurs.
How's it going to walk if it hits you with one of its femurs?
Maybe it has a third femur.
I don't know.
So anyways, vampires are kinky. Pattinson would probably get his ass kicked by Bram Stoker's Dracula. But unfortunately, Pattinson got the Rona this past week, so the production has halted.
Poor guy.
The Batman movie. And Karradyne just saw the trailer, and the face that she made when Pattinson beats the living hell out of that guy was amazing.
I was shook. I was like, Edward Cullen wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have been able to do that.
Like, he just grabbed his hand and just started smacking him with the other one nonstop. And hopefully Pattinson gets better soon so they can continue, because after that one trailer that was released, I'm excited. It gives me hope. You know, that last Joker movie was crazy good. Hopefully this Batman movie is going to be just as crazy.
I wouldn't know.
Now, tell me more about the book.
Okay, so these books are set in New Orleans, which was probably like the most intriguing part for me. It's just like a really spooky, mystical, and spiritual place that really just like bleeds authenticity.
I went to New Orleans.
I'm so jealous.
A few years ago. We didn't do much. We just walked around during the day. It's a really cool place.
I want to go so badly. But because it's set in New Orleans, I really liked how much French was spoken in the book. I only took 2 semesters of French in high school, but I was at least able to understand a good chunk of it without the translation. It just really added to the authenticity and overall vibe of the story. It made it that much more intriguing. At times, I even felt like I was actually in New Orleans simply because Adier's descriptions are so vivid and passionate, even though I've never been, unless you count New Orleans Square at Disneyland. Take me back.
Close enough.
It did remind me a little bit of the Castor Chronicles, if that name doesn't ring a bell. Beautiful Creatures, terrible, terrible movie with Jeremy Irons. Maybe?
That's the one with Vanessa Hudgens?
No. This is the one with the guy who is Solo in the Solo movie. I think it came out when I was like a sophomore in college. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Anyway, Beautiful Creatures books. It reminded me of those just because they take place in the Deep South. And I know I remember the protagonist going to New Orleans and being so intrigued by the voodoo and just I remember them traipsing through cemeteries. Oh, I loved it. So good. Setting can really like make the story sometimes. But the first book follows Celine as she finds herself getting involved with members of the Court of Lions, or La Cour des Lions. She gets the vibe. Don't hate. I was told by a Frenchman in a Paris cafe that my French pronunciations are beautiful. Don't hate. Okay. Just because I can't roll my R's to speak Spanish. Anyway. Oh gosh. So you get the vibe, or Celine gets the vibe, that the members of the Court of Lions are not quite human, but doesn't really have any concrete speculations on what they might be. So basically, there's like this murder mystery element. This is in the Beautiful, so the first book. Though they're rather gruesome and unusual because like the victims have their entire throats ripped out and their bodies are drained of blood. Some reviewers have said that the build-up is too slow, but I feel like the whole setting and feel of the story was perfect, and I really appreciated that things didn't come full circle until the end of the story. In the first book, at least. Had some problems with that in the second book. Chris even found this one mildly intriguing because I had to keep asking him about the Taino people because our heartthrob, I guess you could say, his father was Taino, and there was like a little bit of Spanish sprinkled in because of that.
Yeah, but you were talking about it, and when did you say that this story take place?
In the 1870s, I believe.
1870s? See, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Puerto Rico was discovered in the 1400s. That's mainly where the Tainos were from. And basically by 1500, they were all wiped out due to slavery. I know a bunch of them just left the island. It could be possible that there was a descendant in New Orleans in the 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit of a stretch.
I mean, I guess it's possible if they just trace back the ancestry and that's what they identify with, maybe. I don't know.
Or he might have been a slave that got taken to America and he somehow escaped.
It's very possible.
But at that point, he wouldn't have been a full 100% Taino. He would have been mixed with something. Anything else?
So the Damned, the second book, it didn't.
So wait, this is what's the name of the first book?
The Beautiful.
And the second book is
The Damned.
And this is 2 books, same story. Continued?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
and there's supposed to be 4 books in the series.
Right. Okay.
Yes, I said that.
My bad.
That's okay. So The Damned, unfortunately, did not fully live up to my expectations after reading The Beautiful. Now, I did something I very rarely do with these 2 books. I immediately read the second book after finishing the first book. Chris can tell you that I'm really bad about letting series sit around unfinished for long periods of time.
When are you going to read The Thunderhead?
Soon.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
Liar.
I want to.
I know you do.
Will I?
No.
I don't know.
You won't.
I'll read it before I die. Let's say that.
Hopefully that's not so.
So The Damned was not bad by any means, but where I felt like there was a lot of intrigue build up in The Beautiful, The Damned felt very slow. There wasn't as much meat to the story building and world building. I don't know. I felt like it was more so just one character pouting the whole time about his circumstances. And then it took so long for the main character, Celine, from the first book to come back into the story, even though she was still a main character in the second book. I was really confused as to why she waited so long to bring her back in. And then another thing that I really appreciated about The Beautiful was how realistic it was. I was honestly like really creeped out at times because I could easily envision myself in New Orleans and experiencing all of these eerie and spooky things. But The Damned took this like full-on fantasy twist with fairies and shit far beyond just a regular vampire story, which is fine because I fucking love fantasy. Like, more than anything. But when it comes out of left field, I can't buy it. I can't get on the train. You left me behind. How did we get here? How? But once again, it wasn't bad. It was just a surprise that I don't think I appreciated. It was like the gift that your estranged aunt gives you for Christmas that you didn't ask for. It's like, oh, I have this now. Might as well make it work, I guess.
Okay, so I'm sure that everybody who's listening is asking this, and I'm asking this too. Are there any vampire wieners in the book? Books.
Oh, there were lots of dicks last time, but unfortunately, there is no dick in The Beautiful. There's some lackluster dick in The Damned.
Why was it lackluster? Was it because he couldn't get hard because he's undead?
I mean, that would have been really, really interesting. Really interesting plotline. But no, it was more like...
Chapter 3, How Does Celine Get Laid?
There wasn't enough description. Like, give me all the sweat and the teeth gnashing and the biting. Come on. We got vampires having sex. You'd think there would be some biting. Or vampire sex with a human. You'd think there would be some biting. I mean, like, come on. If Edward Cullen has better sex than you might be doing something wrong. He broke the fucking bed.
And he almost killed Bella.
He almost killed her. In more ways than one.
It's surprising that I know that shit.
How do you know that?
An ex of mine made me go watch the movie.
No.
And unfortunately, it was the one before the last one, because apparently the last one had a lot of action in it.
It did.
So I was stuck with the one with the wedding, and
the sex and the bruises and
the drinking blood because the babies have vampire. Oh God. And
emaciated Kristen, whatever the hell her name is.
And pedophile. Pedophile wolf boy imprinting on the baby.
Oh, yes, that's at the end of the movie, right? Yeah, and then she wakes up at the end of that one with her red eyes. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, because I remember... Okay, let's be real. These books, even though the writing is trash... We're talking about Twilight, not The Beautiful. Damn. We're talking about Twilight. Even though that writing is trash, I remember when Midnight Sun was announced, I posted like kind of my thoughts on this announcement on my Bookstagram, and someone commented, I don't remember who it was, but basically said that as much as we hate on those books, they really, really shaped what YA became, what the young adult genre became.
Yeah, I can see that, because wasn't it after that
it like took off. I mean, yeah, you got Divergent, you got all these dystopian novels.
All these crazy movies just started shooting off.
Books. Well, books and movies, yeah. Yeah, you started getting more film adaptations.
I didn't see the side of the books because I wasn't into books. I saw the side of the movies.
Yeah.
Where Twilight gets a movie adaptation, and then you see Percy Jackson, and then you see I Am Number 4. And...
Divergent and...
Yeah.
Beautiful Creatures, even though it was bad.
Every time you say Beautiful Creatures, I don't know why I want to think about Fantastic Beasts.
No.
I hate Harry Potter.
But he really enjoyed the Fantastic Beasts movies.
But I love the second Fantastic Beasts second movies. One. I haven't seen the first one. I really, really liked it. And I think it's because of the characters. You have...
Johnny Depp.
He wasn't Johnny Depp in that movie.
I know. They completely remade him. He did not do that quirky, like, stereotypical Captain Jack that he brings to every single fucking role that he does. Not that I am hating on him, because I actually really like him.
I don't like him at all, and I thought
love
he was
him.
amazing.
I did not know going into the first movie that he had been cast as Grindelwald. I don't know why, but I didn't really pay attention to any of the news because I was like, it's not Harry Potter. It's not the same. It's not going to, like, invoke in me that same obsession. But holy shit, when they showed him, and I realized it was him, because it's really hard at first glance to see that it's him with the white hair and the eyes and the... Oh my God, I was floored.
And Jude Law was so cool as Dumbledore. He wasn't like an old-ass wizard. He was a cool-ass professor.
He was really cool. I don't really see how...
I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, so to me, this movie...
I read too much into it. I mean, all of you Potterheads can probably
what's
agree.
His name?
Newt Scamander.
Seriously...
He's so adorable.
I seriously think he's autistic, and he is amazing. He is
fucking fabulous.
He was, to me, he was the best part of the movie.
Brilliant.
Hey, he takes care of all those magical creatures by himself, and he's so loving towards them.
Mm-hmm. Has all the patience in the world for the
great.
most irritating little nifflers.
I would go bananas if I had a couple of nifflers.
We got a couple nifflers in the other room. They're just plastic.
I thought you were talking about Luna. I was like, since when do we have more than one Luna?
Luna looks a little bit like the baby nifflers.
She looks like your grandma right now.
No.
So, going back to
on
the
a
book.
tangent.
Going back to the book. We were left off on bad sex scene. Anything else you want to bring up about it before we get your rating?
I mean, they're pretty awesome books so far. I definitely think you should go out and get them if you like YA and you like vampires and little fantasy thrown in there on top of what you already have with the vampires.
Sweet. So what's your rating?
So I'll rate them separately because I did not give the same rating to both books. The Beautiful, solid 5 stars. Awesome book. Great world building. The Damned, alas, is a 4-star read, which is still really good. It just fell short just a little bit.
All right, so there we go. That's the rating for The Beautiful
and The Damned.
So I guess now it's time for games and stuff. So this week on Games and Stuff, we have Tony Hawk's ProSkater 1+2 Remake, released September 4, 2020. This is a remake of Tony Hawk ProSkater 1 and 2. ProSkater 1 was released on August 31st, 1999, and 2 on September 19th, 2000. Both games released on PlayStation 1 and 64, Dreamcast, and had some versions on Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and there was also an updated version of Tony Hawk's ProSkater 2 for the original Xbox, which I didn't know. And let's get started. This game sounds just like you'd expect. I mean, you have skateboards hitting the floor, skateboards grinding on rails, so you can hear that metal on metal grinding, wood on metal grinding. You can hear the wheels going off pavement steps. The skaters sound exactly like what they do in real life. The music is from both of the original games. Is most of it all there. Apparently, there's a couple of songs that didn't make the cut. I'm not exactly which ones they are. I did look for them, and it says that some of the songs that were missing were "Bring the Noise" by Anthrax and Public Enemy, which I know I listened to that song a bunch of times while I was playing. And Psycho Vision, which I know I listened to that song a bunch of times while I was playing.
Was it just like the same songs not on repeat, but like...
Okay, so really cool thing I like about this game, before, obviously the consoles didn't have the power for you to have the song playing throughout the entire time since you boot up the game. Now you do. Now you turn on the console. You have the song starting as soon as you start the game. As soon as you see the beginning start screen, there's song playing all the way until you turn it off.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And you actually have a dedicated button to change the track that you're listening
That's cool, too.
Yeah.
Huh.
So even on a loading screen, you're listening to a song, and it doesn't stop at any point unless you stop to change it.
Nice.
They did add a couple of new artists. The one that stood out to me was Machine Gun Kelly. It had some, and it also has a couple of new rap songs, new pop punk songs, which...
Not a fan.
None of them really stood out, but they fit in with the style of the game and the original music. Now, something I didn't know that really stood out to me, I was really happy, is that there's a Styles of Beyond song in it. Styles of Beyond worked with Mike Shinoda in the Fort Minor album that he released. They worked with him on most of the songs, and after that, I became a huge fan of them. So finding that one song from them, I was like, holy shit, it's Styles of Beyond, so I just kept skipping to get back to the song. The graphics, everything looks great. It looks the way it should. The skaters are modeled realistically with great detail, and they have been aged according to what they look now.
So you're playing a 40-something-year-old skater, still living the dream and doing jumps and shit?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
So it's like watching my dad jump down a half pipe and start grinding and shit.
I mean, 40-year-olds have dreams too. We're going to be there sooner than we want to be.
You're not really on Twitter that much, but if you go on Twitter and you go into Tony Hawk's Twitter account, dude's still skating just like he did back when he was younger.
That's awesome.
And he still has it. The animations are fluid. The only problem that I had with this, and this is more of an aesthetic style, well, it kind of borders on the gameplay style a little bit. Every time you fall, there's this kind of like little special effect they added. It sounds and looks like when you're rewinding a VHS tape. And it's basically he smacks the floor, goes like, oof, and then you hear the wind up and him getting back on the board for you to continue. It does look cool. It sounds cool. Sometimes it took up to 2 to 3 seconds to get back onto the board. Because he would fall, he would just lay there and grovel around, and then he would get back up.
That seems dramatic.
It kind of is, and it's really annoying, especially since you have 2-minute increments to do as many tasks as they give you to complete. So even though it might not seem like much, 3 seconds are the difference between you catching up speed to reaching that final letter that you need to complete your skate objective. The gameplay is just as fun as the original version of the games. The problems that I had with it were grinding. Sometimes you would jump onto the rail, you would hit the grind button, and he would just go straight to the floor. Which I don't get. I didn't get that.
So this is that one where you were telling me even when you hit the right commands, it like wasn't registering, sort of?
Yeah, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. And sometimes, like the grinding, there was times where you would go up a ramp. Let's say you had this giant circle in the middle, and it was made so that it would shoot you up like a ramp. And sometimes if you were going at an angle, you would start going around it. In the air, you're like going the circumference of the object. Sometimes, for some reason, it would unstick from that, I would say, gravity well that it has, for lack of a better term. It would unstick, and you would just immediately just fall straight to the floor. So you'd be thinking, okay, I can still rack up points because I'm going to fall, and I know where I'm going after that. But once you get up, immediately you just get locked off, and there goes your score multiplier or whatever you were working on. I did get stuck in continuous falling cycles, which is what you mentioned about. Let's say I would do a kickflip, and I would want to land in manual. I didn't input the manual right, so I would just fall. I would get back up, just try to do the kickflip by itself. Instead of landing it, I would fall. Get back up, try it again, I would fall. Get back up, try it again, I would fall. Get back up, try to go up a ramp, try to launch off the ramp, and as soon as I let go of the jump button, he would fall again. I mean, I don't remember this happening in the original game, and that really annoyed me to the point where a couple of times I was playing, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to keep playing this shit. The game objectives, to me, they feel dated. They tell you collect 5 of this, do this one specific trick, wrap up this amount of points, and after completing all these tasks, there's really no point to go back to the stage except for getting higher scores. Which, if you're a spot chaser on the leaderboards, that's fine. To me, I don't care. So after you finish everything, there's really no point to go back. It does have some cool after game extras, like unlocking Jack Black as a skater, build a park mode.
Wait, why is Jack Black there? Why?
He's a fan. Apparently him and Tony Hawk might be friends.
Does it look like him?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't unlock him, but I've seen the screenshots, and it's weird.
Why didn't you unlock him? That would have been my goal.
It's too much work.
Oh.
There's also a creator skater mode and challenge modes after you finish the game. Creator skater, you have it from the beginning, so do you the build a park. Create the skater, you create your skater. You have a specific set of perk points that he already comes equipped with. You can get more while you're playing. The ones that I got, I just put into Tony Hawk, because really, who uses somebody else when they're playing Tony Hawk? The game's called Tony Hawk. Use Tony Hawk. Huge problem with this game that I had, and this is just a personal thing, the score-based mission objectives and the levels that were just skate competitions, to me, they were worthless. The reason why to me they were worthless is because you can basically cheese the score objectives by chaining kickflips, manuals, and grinds. So you can start off, do a kickflip, fall into a grind, do another kickflip, fall into a grind, kickflip, fall into another manual, and right there you have 5 different tricks that you've done, and your score multiplier keeps going. So because the score multiplier keeps going, once you finish that trick and you land, let's say you did 10 tricks, and your score just kept going up. Let's say it went up to 2,000. When you hit those 10 tricks, that's going to be 20,000 points you made in less than 5 seconds. So it has its perks. It doesn't have its perks. You can cheese everything, get all these things done real quick and early. But to me, it really defeats the purpose of having such a complex trick system. You have this deep system where you have every single button doing something different. And if you can just cheese the system by chaining combos together that easily, what's the point? To me, overall, the game was a huge nostalgia bomb. In my opinion, it's worth $60, so at the $40 price tag, it's a steal. So my rating for the game is going to be a definite 4.5 stars.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's my second 4.5 stars.
We'll get some crap ratings eventually.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. This game that I've been working on for an eventual episode, it's so boring until now. It's starting to get better, but it's still so boring. So that's it for me. So let's go ahead and get into our next segment. Do you want to tell us what our next segment is?
Give me the garbage.
All right, that is Give Me the Garbage. So for this week's Give Me the Garbage, we went to Chili's Bar and Grill.
It had been a hot minute since we have been there, but something I don't even think Chris knows about me is that when I was in college, I was obsessed with the Chili's Triple Dipper.
That's such a good starter, though.
I led a very lonely existence in college until probably my senior year. Then I made some more friends. But I was often eating dinner in all by my lonesome. There were many a time where I ordered the Triple Dipper and went and picked it up, brought it home. Not even gonna lie, sometimes I got triple SouthWestern Eggrolls. They're so fucking good.
I mean, I get that the buffalo tenders, they're not that great.
They're
but the
not
sliders, come on, the sliders are amazing.
Well, okay, now I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I do know that they have changed the triple dipper choices options a couple times. I don't know that that was an option back then. I could be wrong, but I know that they've been rotated out because they had potato skins. That was what sometimes I would get double egg rolls and then potato skins.
Don't they not have the Southwest egg fries? I would love to have some Southwest.
That filling on fries would be pretty good.
No, the Texas cheese fries.
Yes.
Didn't they have them in the triple dipper for a while?
I don't think so. You ordered those separately.
I love those things. They're so good. Fucking fries, cheddar.
I don't remember if I liked those or not.
Jalapenos, cheddar, bacon, and ranch sauce.
Sounds like it could be good if done right.
So we had the Southwestern egg rolls.
They were not hot, but they were warm enough. They were delicious as always.
They were comfortable to eat.
Yes. They were not burning your mouth. You didn't have to sit there and wait. And like I like to call it the crack sauce. It's just ranch. It's their house-made ranch. I don't know what the hell they put in it that makes it so damn good. But there is something, I legit thought it was something else. That's how good it is and how different. I don't know.
It's funny because I would dip my egg rolls in it and I would eat them. And I finished my 3 egg rolls and I'm sitting back eating my last one and Karradyne's just cleaning the entire ranch cup with her egg
I had
roll.
to make sure. I was tempted to just run my finger around the edges there at the end, but I resisted.
That would have been funny.
The urge.
So yeah, Southwestern egg rolls, they were pretty damn good.
They were definitely the best part of the whole meal.
Ooh, care to tell us why it was the best part?
It was the best part because the rest of it took us to Blandtown.
Oof, Guy Fieri would be disappointed.
He'd be so disappointed.
Also, note for you guys, in this household, Guy Fieri's word is law.
Which is a new thing for us too, because when the pandemic started, we couldn't eat out all the time anymore like we were wont to do. We started cooking more and watching Food Network while we eat dinner.
We is a lot of people. I started cooking a lot.
Okay, Chris started cooking. And I was enjoying his food and watching Food Network with him while we ate the food that he cooked. Because he cooks better than me. Yeah, even if I am from the South.
No, you do make some good things, but most of what I've learned has just been from TV. Nothing's original.
I just think about how much I want to eat it and don't really take mental notes like he does.
Yeah, today while we were eating, we were watching this guy make a sloppy Joe.
An adult sloppy Joe, as they called it.
And when they were done, that they built it together, it's like, oh shit, that was the sloppy Joe. I wish you could rewind it so I could find out how they did it.
Because he wasn't paying a lick of attention to the beginning, at least.
I was in fucking La La Land, especially since we had those chicken burgers.
They were so good. Anyway.
I was just spaced the fuck out.
So yeah, Blandtown. I got the Santa Fe crisper salad. I don't remember why I chose a salad. Trying to be...
It surprised me because you never...
Well, we also went pretty late. I didn't want to eat anything heavy and, be dying for the rest of the night. Actually, you have had
that salad before.
I've had their quesadilla explosion salad. I don't think I've had this one. I don't remember. They're all similar.
I know we've gone to Chili's before and you've had a salad.
The quesadilla explosion salad. I almost got that instead.
It's green. It has stuff in it.
There you go. It's rabbit food. So yeah, it was super bland, despite the fact that it had not one, but 2 fucking sauces on it. One was the crack ranch, and one was some spicy thing that was not spicy at all. But I am a big fan of the spicy, and I find that other people's definitions of spicy do not often live up to mine.
Definitely not. We're different because I like my spice to have flavor and not just be fire, and she likes her for it to have a little bit of flavor and a lot of fire.
I made chili about 2 weeks ago. I begged him to let me make chili, and his one request was, please don't make it spicy. I'm like, well, what the fuck is the point in making it if I'm not gonna make it spicy?
Add your own fucking spice at the end. Don't spice mine up.
I guess I could have done that. Anyway, the chicken on the salad was super crispy, but bland. But at least it was crispy and hot. The avocado slices were super fresh, but placed on a bed of bland. It was very, very underwhelming main course. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just, would I order it again? Probably. Would I enjoy it? Probably not.
I had the smokehouse combo ribs and sausage. Sausage was awesome.
He let me have a piece, and it was juicy goodness.
It was so juicy. It was filled with gooey cheese, and it had some nice jalapeno kick in it.
Spicy!
So it was spicy, and it had a lot of flavor in it. Oh my god, I could just eat a whole tray of those damn sausages.
Same.
And the ribs, surprisingly, they were hot, unlike other times where they're lukewarm or cold. They had a really nice crunch on the char marks, a good amount of meat on the bone. It had a lot of sauce, but unfortunately the sauce was a bit off. It tasted a bit citrusy.
Ew. On ribs?
I mean, you do put a little bit of citrus in it, not too much, but...
But yeah, if it's like really standing out, then...
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't delicious. I mean, it was... It came with a piece of toast, which was as exciting as a piece of toast. It also had fries, which were as exciting as the toast.
He didn't finish either one of those things.
No, and the worst part was that it came with a horrible white people version of street corn.
What are they called again?
Elotes.
Elotes. It had green shit on it.
That shit was a crime against Mexican people. It had crema.
But too much.
Yes. It had almost no cheese, so I couldn't tell what the fuck kind of cheese it was. I couldn't tell
probably
if it
Parmesan.
was... It probably was. I couldn't tell if it was cookie hard Parmesan. It had too much cumin and lime, which I fucking hate both of those things. And an obscene amount of green stuff, which I'm not even sure what the fuck it was.
It wasn't cilantro?
No, because it was kind of limey too.
Huh.
So I'm not sure if it was some sort of lemongrass or something stupid like that that some white chef would put on it.
Don't hate on the white people so hard. Come on.
God,
Hello.
It's like we've seen it on Food Network all the time where they have people from the real place. Like let's say they have
from the country of origin.
Yeah, like they have a real Cuban making
Cuban food.
A real fucking Cuban sandwich, and Bobby Flay does his spin on a Cuban sandwich.
And Bobby Flay fucking wins!
It's like, what the fuck?
Pisses me off every time.
And that's what it seems to me that corporations like Chili's does. They have, I had this one thing in Mexico that I really like. Could you repeat it? And then some chef that they have repeats it.
Replicates.
And it's nowhere near the same.
This looks like Parmesan. It must be Parmesan. This looks like cumin. It must be cumin.
The way...
Sprinkle.
If you're a restaurant owner and you want to have something that's not from your culture, get someone from the culture that you want to imitate to do the dish for you and show you how to do it right. So you're just whitewashing culture's food, and that's fucking wrong.
And it tastes bad.
It tastes horrible. I took one bite.
He took one bite. And I know you don't know him at all, but it is very, very unusual to see him not finish his food.
I finished the ribs. I finished the sausage because they were good. I tried the corn. I had a couple of French fries and a couple of bites of the bread. That's it. So, honestly, Chili's, it's not horrible.
It's not. The Eggrolls were amazing.
Exactly. And like I said, the sausage was great. The ribs were great. We can't really call it garbage because it really wasn't garbage. But it's not garbage either because it is nowhere near
amazing
the standard of garbage is.
No.
So we're just gonna say, meh. It's food. I mean, you guys know what Chili's is. Best way to go to this place is if you have a group of people, they all want something different. Go to Chili's. They're probably going to have it.
Huge variety of options.
Yeah, somebody wants a burger, they have burgers. Somebody wants smokehouse stuff, they have smokehouse stuff.
Fish tacos.
Exactly.
Fajitas.
The fajitas are actually really good.
Are they?
Yeah.
You've had them before?
That's what my dad used to have when we used to go to Chili's on family night. And they would bring you out a full flaming skillet of peppers, onions, and steak.
Maybe I'll try that next time.
They're pretty damn good. Compared, the quesadillas are garbage, but the fajitas, they're really good, and it's good seasoned tender steak. I'm sure it comes in a bag, but it's still pretty great.
And the service is almost always good, if not great. So
yeah, last night the girl last night was amazing. We had paid and everything, and she came out with 2 drinks, and she said, "Oh, I can put these in a cup for you guys to go if you want them." We're like, no, we're good. She's like, okay, that's fine. You know,
she's very sweet, very attentive.
Yeah, she was very attentive and great. But yeah, that's it, man. And before we go, Karradyne has something she wants to talk about regarding a certain something that she ate.
So I went to Magic Kingdom this weekend, and they are currently slowly but surely dropping all of their fall merch, decor, and treats. So I went to Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. If you're at all familiar with Magic Kingdom, it's in Liberty Square near the Hall of Presidents, and the little Christmas store, Ye Old Christmas Shop, I believe is what it's called. It's adorable. Anyway, so I went there, and I had the brand new pumpkin spice Mickey waffle sundae, and it was fucking amazing. So it is this fairly large scoop of vanilla bean ice cream, caramel syrup, Halloween themed sprinkles, whipped cream topping. Shut up.
That's not the description you gave me for the sprinkles.
I had to be more what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm appropriately theming, okay? They're cute little Halloween sprinkles.
What else do they have so I can tell them what?
They're crunchy sprinkles.
No, that's not what you said.
I don't remember what I said.
Hard, crunchy sprinkles.
I was trying to be as descriptive as possible so that I wouldn't forget anything. And I sounded really silly. But at least it was just to you.
She said it has
cold ice cream.
warm waffles and cold ice cream.
He's such an asshole. I don't know why I put up with it. Oh God, I can't talk anymore. Shut up. I was just trying to make sure I didn't forget anything. What if I didn't remember the ice cream was cold? What if I
How would you forget? It's ice cream. It's in the name. It's ice.
To be fair, it is like 100 degrees outside. What if it had melted before?
It would have melted and retained the shape.
He's such an asshole.
It would create a film around itself, and once you poked it, it would deflate and it would just like squirt ice cream everywhere.
Anyway.
You're crying.
I am legit crying. Oh my God. Anyway, it had a fucking large scoop of vanilla bean ice cream, caramel syrup, sprinkles, whipped cream topping, and 2 pumpkin spiced Mickey waffles. It tastes like fall. It's like licking one of my precious Bath and Body Works fall candles.
They're everywhere.
I have a problem. It's okay. They still smell good. You said they smelled good.
Yeah, they do smell good.
But yeah, they probably taste most like the pumpkin apple scent, if you're curious as to what it tastes like. Anyway.
You can taste the scent.
So the waffles had these perfect crunchy edges that weren't made soggy by the ice cream or the whipped cream. I don't know how they retained that crunchiness. It was magic, because it's Disney. And you could conveniently use them to like scoop up the ice cream if your heart so desires.
So it's like a waffle crunch nacho.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, so good. So good.
So, what was the perfect bite?
The perfect bite was the last bite that I took, which was this little crunchy piece of waffle that had somehow hidden itself underneath the last scoop of ice cream. It just tasted like sheer fall goodness, and it made my little Halloween heart so happy.
So that was your perfect bite, just ice cream and crunchy waffle.
Ice cream and crunchy waffle. You can't get better than that. Jeez. You didn't need that extra shit with the sprinkles. It was good, don't get me wrong. But if you'd just given me the waffle and the ice cream.
See, sometimes simplicity is the best.
It really is. But you had to make it cute because it's Disney. It's got to be Instagram aesthetic for all the influencers.
Yeah, no. That's like you.
Like me.
All right, so what would you rate that?
It was 100% garbage.
Nice. All right, so that does it for the garbage. So let's go ahead and get into a little bit of housekeeping. So basically, that's it for this week's episode. Remember to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at A Novel Console. You can also find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. Go ahead and give us 5-star and a review, which would really help us out. You can also listen on YouTube by searching for A Novel Console. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. You can also email us at anovelconsole.com, and we will read you.
A novelconsole at gmail.com.
What did I say?
A novelconsoles.com. We're not that official yet.
Hey, I can probably make that.
At gmail.com.
Yeah, so email us at anovelconsole@gmail.com, and we will read your email on the show. And our art was done by Metamorphique on Instagram. And sorry that we ran a little bit late. Right now we're at an hour and almost 8 minutes. But we hope you had a good time. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.